G'day, mate, and welcome to Dyson Sphere with me, Judy, and our wonderful little friend, Mr. Icarus. Today, I want to jump into our second part of our Dark Fog dossier. We covered the first part, which covered the planetary bases, the ground units, and today I want to cover, well, the space hive. The space hive, all the different bits and pieces of the space hive, some weak points, along with all the different unit types, along with, well, the parts you should stay away from and the parts you should really, really stay away from. Yeah, we're going to be covering all of that today. But before we get into any of that, I need to ask a favor, just a small favor, and that is, well, of course, can I borrow a like? I just like to borrow a like. I like to borrow a like early in the video. If you're not happy with the video, you didn't enjoy the video, well, that's okay. Icarus has said you can have your like back. Now, before I get any closer, I need to definitely make sure, that my weapons are disabled, because although I'm playing in passive mode, they will shoot back. Next thing I want to do is I want to bring up, combat mode. So as we can see here, there's about 3,000, 4,000 units in this particular hive. It is a level, actually that'll tell me, level 16 hive. So this is not fully upgraded. They go as high as level 30, but if we jump out to map view really quickly and have a good look-see, it's about as big as they get. They don't get much larger. They do get a little bit more complete than what we have currently, but that happens at level 30, and it's not a lot more than what we have currently. We should also talk about the ships going back and forth. These are the ships that are going over to the relays on the planet. This one's a little bit infected. It's okay. We'll clean it out at some stage. These are parking into each of the relays on the planet and actually picking up matter from the planet. Okay, the Dark Hive itself has two energy, the Dark Fog itself has two different resource types, one of them being energy and the other one being matter. Now, energy is going to come from the relay stations and the barges bringing the resources back and forth. Barges are like your logistics vessels. You can't shoot them. So you can't take them out, you can't worry about them, but you can definitely take out the relays. And if you take out the relays, that will stop the hive itself getting any matter. We'll cover a little bit more about that and whether you can starve them in future in the video. But the other thing they have is energy. Now, if we get a little bit closer, we can start dissecting different parts of this particular hive and talking about its different relative sections. Yes. Okay. Can we just slow down? Now we're on the underneath. Okay, so now we're on the underneath being the side closest to the sun. We can see that it has a couple of these large triangles. All these large triangles are on the underneath, and they are all photon receivers. So every single one of, every single hive is going to have a large number of these receiving a flat 150 energy each, okay? It doesn't seem to matter the luminosity of the sun. It's always guaranteed to be 150 energy, and it's going to receive its own energy. So you can't cut off energy from the hive by cutting off the relays, but you can cut off the matter. So again, if we hover over the hive, we can see that it has, 187,000 matter. Yeah. We're going to look at how the matter moves around in just a minute, but it has a certain amount of matter ready to go. Can we? Yeah, it's the whole relativity thing. I'm trying to get us facing sort of the right way. All right, the other building on the underneath, and we've got one all the way out there, is a phase laser turret. Okay, these are incredibly painful. I highly recommend you don't go anywhere near them. And we'll also have, actually, this is a closer one. This one here is a plasma generation tower. Again, very, very deadly. Do not recommend you go anywhere near them. They are pretty much guaranteed to one-hit an Icarus. Okay, we'll talk about the units whilst we happen to be down here. As you can see on the underneath, we have a whole bunch of humpbacks. The humpbacks are, they are a hive protection unit. They won't fly off. They won't attack the base. They're going to hang around here, and they're going to protect the hive for when Icarus decides to come by and say hello. The ones around the outside, the ones that actually, you can see easily from space in the map view, all these ones around the outside are the Lancers. If I can get one that we can hover a mouse over, good. Lancers actually have 3 different damage types. They have 3 different skill types. Yeah, let's go with skill types. 3 different skill types they can use to attack. Energetic, can you just put that on the side? Thanks. Okay. They have 3 different attack types. They are, the in-space type, the bombarding a planet type, and the planet didn't take me out fast enough, I'm going to beat the crap out of the planet type. I'll show you some of those in a little while, but yeah, you don't want the third one. You really don't want the third one. Okay, so this is the underneath. Let's get a little bit closer to the central core. And I should also mention that every single one of these things physically exist. So if you're planning on doing a ram raid, be warned you can ram the hive on the way through. Okay. As we can see, the hive's actually split into two halves. It has a lower half and an upper half. Now, each one of these large sections joining one to another is a bridge. The bridges, right here in front of us, right where we're ramming into, the bridges are going to transfer both matter and energy around the hive. Okay, and also on top of that, we have each one of these connections is a seed module. Seed modules will either connect a couple of bridges to one another, or they'll also connect a channel. A channel is one that's going, well, in the opposite plane. I guess if this is horizontal, then this is the vertical plane. Let's go with vertical plane. Yeah, can we get out of the way, humpback? Cool. The channel is the same story. They're just going to carry matter up and down for, well, different construction tasks, or for, well, charging up or making units, or charging up lasers. Okay, speaking of lasers, just as the underneath we have the phase laser tower here, I also have over there a plasma generation tower. On top of that, if we get a little bit more distance, we can see, no, let's get a lot more distance. We can see some common shapes, okay? Slow down, Icarus. Okay, we can see the round ones, we can see the triangle ones, and then over there, actually, this one right here is much easier to see. We see the very large ones. Okay, I'm going to start with the triangle ones. The triangle ones are the land supports. They're going to pop out these little ships out here, the ones that you're mainly dealing with. Okay, every single time you take out one of these, same as with the ground stations, if you take out this, it means that port can no longer spawn lancers, which is going to make your life just a little bit easier when you're attacking. On top of that, these ones will spawn out humpbacks. As I said, the humpbacks are the ones that are float around fairly gently, fairly majestically, and tend to do a lot of damage when you need to actually take out a hive. And then finally we have the Eclipse Fortress. Again, Edit, just put that on the side if needs be. These are not implemented yet. Yeah. Can we actually get a little bit closer? These are incredibly dangerous. I don't know exactly what they're going to do in the future, but as the developers already said, hey, this is Dark Fog Part 1. Part 2 is going to be coming sometime in the future. I hate to think what these things actually look like. Oh, wow. Is there two different pop-ups? Yes, two different pop-ups. Maybe Edit can put both of them on the screen at the same time. Yeah, I have no idea how bad they're going to be, but they're going to be future content. Okay, back to our Dark Fog and our bridges. Okay, this bridge here, 3D relativity. Nope, let's rotate that way. Okay, as we can see, oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. Icarus, slow down. Slow down. Get ram into something, that works. Okay, missed something. All right, as we can see, we have, slow down. Aim that way. Okay, I still really wish there was a button to just match the speed of something. Okay, as we can see, we have these little ants. They look like ants rolling across this bridge. That means that this bridge is actually transferring both energy and matter into, well, either this seed or into this channel and into, well, this bridgeport. As you can see, this bridgeport is in the process of building. So these little guys are transferring energy and matter along these sections. And I do like the fact that devs have put in, well, the effort to show that, you know, if you can see this, it means that things are building. In saying that, I don't think you're ever going to get this close to a Dark Fog hive. Okay, back to the central core. There's a couple of other things I want to mention very quickly. One is, no, can we go closer and slow down? All right, one is we have two layers actually here. We have a bottom layer and an upper layer. Now, if you actually take out the bridges attaching one layer, and actually it's probably easier if we look at this. If you take out enough bridges that you actually disconnect a section of the well, outside structure from the central core, that whole structure dies. Much the same as they do on the planetary bases. If you take out a section, you can actually kill a whole section of the base at once. Technically, it can repair itself, but you can definitely take things out in the meantime. But you have to be warned that, well, the top half is joined to the bottom half, which is joined to the top half in multiple locations. So good luck taking out specific parts, especially in that heat of combat. The other thing I need to mention is the central core. You can take out the central core. It's very, very, well, not easy to do, but it can definitely be done. There is a couple of catches. As you can see, this has a relay station count. So this has 12 relays. That's being 12 of these are the guys that are potentially on a planet. Yeah, 12 of them potentially on a planet. Oh, on top of that, each one of those is potentially going to be linked to a planetary base, pulling in matter. The matter is obviously going to be loaded on the barges. The barges are obviously going to be shipping it back to, well, the hive that we're sitting at. If we zoom out again, yeah, there's one coming in right now. The red thing. There's more coming in right now. And if we have a look-see, there's one right now. And unfortunately, they are not targetable. But yes, they will pop in and they will dock into the central core itself, and they'll drop off matter. Now, in saying that, a couple of other things I should mention is if you leave any relay stations alive, what will actually happen is more matter will get shipped in to rebuild the central core. So to actually take out a central core, you need to do a couple of things. One, you need to take out all the relays. And as we saw with the mouse over, which I now can't see because I'm too close, you have 12 relays. So that means you need to take out all 12 relays before you can really kill this central core and have this hive disappear. The problem is, and not a lot of people have got close enough to talk about it, is if I come and I look at the bottom right here, let me slow down again. Those relays that, you know, exist in space and are massive, come on, Icarus. There is a bunch of relays hanging out right here. In fact, this has 6 relays parked around the bottom of its total 12. So it has 6 on planet and 6 parked right here ready to go. So again, you need to take out these before you take out this. On top of that, very, very important, is under attacks. Relay stations is actually unticked by default. Okay, your fleets won't automatically attack relays, mainly because if you attack a relay station, it increases the threat for the hive that it's attached to. So it's not on by default. So you need to make sure that you probably go and pick off some hives first, well, some relays first, before you worry about the hives. In saying that, if you flatten a hive, well, there's not a lot left, and they're fairly easy to deal with after that. Yes. Other thing we should mention very, very quickly is there's also at the very bottom number a seed count. A seed count is something we'll talk about later on in the video, but there is always a possibility if you take out the hive, it's going to expand from, well, another star, another system, and you might, you know, fully eradicate them from your home system and come back a little bit later and find out that they're back. All right, so next thing I think we should talk about is how to attack these guys from a distance. There is a number of options. One of them is to use your planet. I know, it sounds a little bit weird, but there is a number of planets that float close enough into orbit that you can, well, quite happily attack a hive from your planet side. You know, it does require some luck with some orbital dynamics, and you're probably not going to get every hive. In fact, if I happen to look at this system, no hive comes anywhere near that planet. So it's definitely not going to happen in this system. But there are some systems where you can use your rockets and other ground-based units to definitely take out a hive. Your other option is pure brute force. Okay, really, really recommend that you get Icarus a couple of levels, like well into the green science. You're going to need space vessels because, frankly, Icarus is not going to do any damage, but you can use your space vessels, and that's, I think, the first thing I want to show you. So we're going to slow Icarus right the way down. So I'm basically motionless in space, and then I want to bring up my combat. I want to press the Z button to bring up combat, and then if I press tab, I get my mouse, and I can click enable here. Cool. I can then click this. Once I've clicked this, my fleets pop out. They're guaranteed to pop out. Now, if I hold down control as well, I get this grid on the ground, and I can hold down control and left click and actually tell my fleets to go somewhere. And I've told them to go, 1,600 meters that way. So again, if I pop out a map view, we can see that they're, off center to my left from where I'm looking, which also means that if I face Icarus this way and fly this way, and we go back to map view, we'll see that they're going to be, well, off center to my left. Because where they live happens to be relative to where Icarus is. Now, if we go back into combat mode and I have a look at you and I say, oh, you're 1.2 AU, I think I'd like my combat fleet to go 1.2 AU. Yeah, you guys fly over there really quickly for me. And if we go out to map view really quickly, we can see they're going to, you know, fly a decent distance away really quickly. Yeah. Are you there yet? We're there yet? No, we're still flying. Well, that's 1.2 AU. That's a long way away. Okay. No, they flew a bit too far. They're going to back up a little bit. Okay, cool. Now, if I take Icarus and then I fly him back in this direction, my fleet, which we did leave over here, is now going to fly relative to Icarus to over here. Yeah, they're just quickly changing directions, and they're going to pop nice and close to this giant structure here. Yeah, and anything gone red yet? Oh yeah, things went red. Cool. Yeah, things are happening. There's 3,000 dark fog units, and I have well, a bunch of Corvettes. The Corvettes don't have as many upgrades as I'd like them to have, and well, I don't have any spares. That's probably going to be a problem. Yeah, I'm already out. But we're definitely doing damage. The numbers are going down. Don't forget, this dark fog hive is also full of both energy and matter, so it's just going to keep creating more units very, very, very quickly. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm going to run out of units well before this gets under 2,000. Yep. Yeah, 2.5. More than half my fleet's gone. If we go to the map view, there's definitely problems. There's definitely problems for that hive, and we've taken a chunk out of this side, and I'm pretty much out of ships. Can I change you over to that type? And that type? And number 2? That type? We're going to swap in some destroyers. Destroyers have a few bit more hit points, a little bit more damage. Are we good? No? Yep, they're still disappearing. That one, that one, that one, that one. Now, I could have called these guys back. I could have called them back and, you know, maybe saved a few of them. But, you know, where would the fun in that be? Okay, now you I'm officially calling back. Can I close that and hit that button? Cool. And then I'll pop that fleet back out, but I'll set it out for these. We're going to turn on all these. And I'm going to set you for... Zoom out a little bit. 1.9, 0.1, somewhere there. Somewhere there. And we're going to send these guys out. Now, another thing I should mention very, very quickly is... Oh, actually, we got down to 1,300. Not bad. You guys did well. We're up to 1,400. We're up to 1,800. We're up to 2,000. Yeah, up to 2,500. Yeah. Have they arrived yet? No, they're just short. And as you can see, because it's taken damage, it is calling in every single barge it possibly can to restock its numbers very quickly. Can we go back into combat mode? What'd I say? 1 AU. Can we go a little bit further? Point. I want a 1.2. There we go, 1.2. That should get Tango to happen. Oh yeah, that's definitely, yeah, things have gone red. That's perfect. Also should mention, every single time a ship's taken out, wherever you put this pointer, that's where they respawn. So I really don't want them respawning in the middle of combat. We're 1.3 away, so let's put you guys at about 1. They're going to try and fly back to me, but they're in combat currently. But yes, once one of these guys are taken out, its replacement... Actually, let's put our replacement here so we can see them. And there we go. Nope. These little blue ships here. These little blue ships here are our replacements, and they're spawning in halfway. They're not spawning in the middle of combat, which is probably a wise idea. And the whole fleet's coming back. It's too far away. Can I go with 1 point? I just like 1 AU. 1 AU, perfect. 1 AU just on the side. We're down to 1,200 units again. We did some damage. Also should mention that as you have fleets deployed, you're going to be using a lot of Icarus's internal power. Hence why staying at a distance is a very, very wise idea. Very, very wise idea. Yeah, I do really wish there was a way to scroll around this map. I hope that's what's coming in the later combat update. A way to have a little bit better space combat. That is meant to be the main purpose of the future update. You guys not engaging? You're just not engaging or not engaging properly? That's the problem. We're a little bit too far away to actually see what's going on. Let's go with 1 AU. And let's speed Icarus up. And we'll aim at that. And then we'll slow right the way back down. Yeah. 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 But yes, I can quite happily stay back here. I'm going to use my power to keep the warships active. As you can see, even though I'm burning the super rare fuel that comes with the super late game, and I have an awful lot of upgrades, I'm still losing power because these guys chew through power. You've been warned. And I'm doing damage. Winning, we might not be. But I'm doing damage at least. Yep. And can we... I still don't recall the fleet and go have a look-see. Up close and personal. Okay, we're going to accelerate up. And as long as I'm over half an AU away, I won't get attacked. And technically, as I haven't fired on them... okay, they got auto-recalled because I ran out of power. And I want to go see what sort of damage was done. So we're down to 700 units from like 3,000, so it's not bad. As you can see, large sections have been damaged. They're going to start repairing. Structure-wise... Well, we chewed a large section out of it. There's definitely pieces missing around here. No. Unenabled. Cool. Yep. And slow down. I want to look at you. You used to have basically all your matter and all your energy. You did lose 6 relays. So the 6 relays that were parked at the bottom, if we just fly underneath. Yep, these 6 relays that are normally parked here have been neutralized, which is very, very good. But yes, that was one attack. I'd need to do at least 2, 3 more passes with a full bar of energy and a whole lot of destroyers before I'd be confident taking out this particular hive. But yes, this is, well, the part one. Next thing I want to cover is probably either threat or how to defend against space hive attacks. Yep, because you're going to end up with space hive attacks sooner or later. So let's go have a look at that. Let's cover both threat and how to defend against the dark fog all at the same time. First off, we have, well, a dark fog hive. Nice and close, 0.31 AU. Close enough that you can click on it. Far enough away that you can't shoot it. Around about 0.15 AU is when you've got to be a little bit worried, and, well, where your rockets and other defensive structures can actually shoot at the hive. In saying that, if I bring up combat mode, we can see how everything is lit up red. That means we're within half an AU, which means potentially if I go to space, if they're unhappy, they will attack Icarus. Yeah, you've been warned. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to anger... What I want to do is I want to anger that hive. The easiest way and the best way to anger that hive is actually attack its planetary base, which is this one. That's Alpha. I want to attack that one. No, not that one. That one. The one's about to attack me. Perfect. I want to attack that hive. Now, the way... Well, that planetary base. That relay station. Yes. Now, the hive is going to get angry at you for a couple of reasons. One, you either attack the structures down here, or 2, you actually attack the relay station. In my case, I'm going to go for maximum angry, and that is attacking the relay station, not with actual weapons, but with Icarus's laser. I have no idea why, but the Icarus's laser makes it the most angry. So if I fly up to nice and high, and then hold the attack button, and we just fly by really quickly. We can see that threat went through the roof, and the hive is now in assembly mode, and I have 15 vessels incoming, which is both good and bad. Mainly bad. Where are we? I want to go there, please. I'd like to do so faster because I'm being chased. Mainly bad for the fact that I didn't fly fast enough. That's all right. Mainly bad for the fact that I don't have any defenses. Okay. I have a couple of offensive structures, being rocket launchers. That's the attack coming in right now. So, the attacks come in. It is 18 vessels. And that's the attack right there. And as you can see, we have one section of it here and one section of it here. And we're launching rockets left, right, and center. And as you can see, the health bars are going full red. Full red means they're mostly dead, except they're healing as well. So rather than them dying in a single salvo, most of them are taking 2 or 3 salvos because they're healing up between the missiles launching and landing here. In saying that, I am using, well, the worst quality missiles possible, the base quality missiles. At the same time, you can also see that, well, I'm being strafed. The whole planet's being strafed because I don't have any shields. Highly recommend if you're going to be playing with any sort of Dark Fog Hive activity, you need to have shields. It's a must. Yeah. Also, using missile turrets, not the best. We can get access to... I can just get one of those... Well, not 10. Not 10. Just one. One of those. 3 of you down. You're a plasma turret. Can I get some ammo for you? No. Okay. We'll click that button. Cool. 100 free ammo. Pop that in there. The plasma turret is going to fire the plasma capsule doing 300 damage compared to a rocket launcher firing a rocket doing 21 damage. Which also means if I go back... Oh, is the attack over? Well, the attack's over. We might have to go say hi to them again. Which was the... Oh, it's that one. Okay. We'll just pop over here again and just, you know, reinstigate the attack. Yep, just by shooting that with a laser. Like I said, I have no idea what caused it, but the hive and the relays really don't like Icarus shooting with a laser. Really, really, really don't like it. And this time I flew all the way home. Landing is a whole nother problem. Okay. We're a little bit less prepped for an attack. Let's just quickly do a sandbox repair. Yeah. And maybe also load in a few missiles. Yeah. Go faster. Really? No go faster belt? Go faster belt. Cool. Yeah, hopefully the missiles get there before the friends do. Okay, so you're coming from 0.4 AU, and again, if we just pop out to the well, the galaxy view, the planetary view, we can see that we have 3 separate little fleets coming in. So it's going to be 3 sets of 5 vessels. The attacks get way bigger. Also, the hives max out at level 30. And a max attack from a level 30 hive is around about 300-ish units. It's not fun. It's not fun. And did I craft a second one of those? Cool. And that's what I want. So and this is very hard to see. Okay, so you have a range of 6,500. You also have a range of 4,200. So you technically have a longer range. And if we look at the damage, you are much closer to taking out a ship by yourself with a single gun compared to many, many missile launches. We have 50. Let's go with 50. Some of them might have disappeared already. 50. Yeah, a number of them have disappeared already. 50 missile launches, all firing missiles non-stop compared to a single plasma. Now, of course, the only way to defend yourself is going to be with... where are we? a planetary shield. Can I put this next to power generation? Seems like a wise idea. There you go. Yeah, planetary shield. We're going to cover very, very quickly between all the gunfire and everything else. Planetary shield has two things. One, it has a flat draw of 24 megawatts. So it's going to constantly draw 24 megawatts. Also, when it's first charging, first applying power to the actual shields, it's also going to draw 24 megawatts. As the shields get more and more power in them, it'll start drawing less and less power. Eventually idling out at a couple of megawatts, not a whole lot. Yeah, we've still got spare power. Can I put a second one here? Because I think I'm going to need at least 2 shields to deal with this problem. And you need to get to this very first stage before we even get any sort of shield up and running. And that is if we survive that long. You're out of ammo. Can I give you... Actually, no, I don't want to give you ammo. No, I want to take the pounding. I want to take the pounding because the attacks go through multiple stages. So we're in our first stage where we have these ships and they're in orbit. And I think we're heading into the second stage. We are in the second stage right now, where what they do is they start orbiting the planet, which means they're hitting you less often, but when they actually come around to a position above you where they can hit you, they start hitting an awful lot harder. So you have a shield up and running. We have a tiny bit of shield generation, and as you can see, you're still dumping 24 megawatts into the shield. If I zoom out further, I can see I'm adding 1,000 hit points to this shield per second. Now, the total amount of power, the total amount of shield generation I can add really comes down to your power grid. What happens is any excess power that is available in the grid will get shoved into the shields. It won't discharge accumulators, but it will get shoved into the shields. And as you can see, I have lasers firing. So because lasers are firing, the shields, well, we have less available spare power, which means the shields start charging slower. But I have 2 of these guys running. You're using, just mouse over you. You're using 24 megawatts active power and 24 megawatts worth of idle power plus 24 megawatts actually charging the shield. You're doing the exact same, and as we can see, if I turn that on, yeah, we're being absolutely bombarded from the outside. In saying that, our total energy is 11.1 gigajoules. So as long as this number's still going up, we're perfectly safe. But those particular attacks are extremely painful if we didn't have shields up and running. So if you're going to be playing with well, the dark fog out in space, and definitely going to be angering well, the relays and also the bases, you probably want to invest in shields reasonably quickly. You can get through the first couple of attacks because eventually after they've circled the planet a couple of times, they'll eventually give up. The raid will actually end and they'll go home. By the same token, if you get some plasma turrets up and running, and the plasma ammo is not actually super hard to make, that will probably solve most of your space attack problems. Simple ring at the each of the poles, and well, they'll generally shoot down everything before we get to this stage where they start circling the planet. Can you guys please leave? I want you to leave, preferably before we accidentally kill you. Can I have all your rounds? Yeah, I don't really want to kill you. I really want them to fly away. And yeah, we now have 20 gigajoules worth of power. So, 20 gigajoules worth of shields. Oh, really? Now I want to give you one more shot. Here, have this. Give me that back. No, take out one of... there we go. I love seeing the space debris. Unfortunately, you don't get any loot from... you do not get any loot whatsoever from space attacks. So you have been warned. Speaking of loot, a lot of people have asked me, what does loot table look like? Drop all. That is the complete loot table? Yes, that is the complete loot table. From level 0 all the way through to level 24. The drop rate is it depends on the planet. Some items have a different drop rate depending on the planet, others don't. Can you guys please go away? But overall, I don't know. Do you guys want to see a video on drop rates? Do you want to see a video on drop rates and how to farm the dark fog? Please, in the comment section below, Tell me, is that something you guys would like to see? Please retreat. How many times do I have to be circled before you've proved your dominance? A few more, obviously. Oh, there we go. You guys are retreating, and you're about to do the same. There we go. All right, so yes, finally they retreat. It is the end of the raid, and you can go back to, well, dealing with any other problems you might have had in, the absence of a peaceful existence. Anyway, and I think this is where we should jump topics again, and we should talk about seed notes. I did mention with the hives, they have a certain number of seeds, and I said I'd get back to them, and now I think it's time to get back to them. So when you start off on a new system, in a new galaxy, you may occasionally see these, well, little red dots. These little red dots, after you get, well, into planetary research, number 4, you'll need universal exploration number 4 up and running so you can see the whole galaxy. But after you get that done, you may see these little red dots. These little red dots traveling, well, between systems. Yeah, I can see this little red dot here is, well, if I line up the stars from point A to point B, it's coming from Alphad to go to Tish. No, I'm willing to bet it's going the other direction. If we have a look at it, yeah, they're not easy to look at. Can I zoom in on you and then stretch our camera out, and hopefully we can get the camera in roughly the right spot. Yes, we can see there's got points on the rear and it has a flat on the front. Okay, it's heading over to the Tish system, the Alphard system from the Tish system. And these are what's known as seed notes. So when a Dark Fog Hive gets fully upgraded, it has way too much matter and nothing to spend it on. It has many, many fleets. It then can go and spread to other systems, which does mean taking out all the fog, all the hives in a single system can be done, but you may have another seed come from another system and repopulate the system you're on. Now, the good news, or the bad news, all depending on how you look at it, is, well, these things fly through at sublight speed. The Dark Fog doesn't know about fast and light and warp technology, so you can fairly easily find these and take them out. In saying that, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to catch up to them because, well, they're between 2 points of nowhere. In fact, this one went from the Fittest system to the Alwood system. And if I go here, we can see there's no hives here currently because I'm trailing its seed. I'm trailing its seed that is heading to the Awid system. Yes. Now, the seeds fly along at exactly 1,200 meters per second. And the easiest way to find them is to, well, find a seed. Let's pick this one over here. And we can see that if I line you up... No. Where the hell did you come from and go to? Not this system. No, definitely this system. I have no idea where you came from. You might have come from out of system. Let's try you. Can I... You're over here. Yep, you don't line up with anything. Yeah, you've come from out of system. Definitely... Like, none of that lines up in a dead straight line. It'll always line up in a dead straight line when you find one that's going from star to star. Let's try you. There we go. Star to star. Dead straight line. So, we have no hives here, and I'm willing to bet if we head over here, we have at least one hive. So that one hive is set a seed over to Theta Geminori. Yes. And this seed is on its way. Now, as I said, the seeds travel at 1,200 meters per second. And the easiest way to get to a seed is, well, go to one of the planets, either the source or the destination, use your warper, and you want to drop out just in front of the seed and fly towards the seed. Reason being is the seed's going to fly along at 1,200 meters per second, and you can fly 2,000 meters per second towards it. You could try dropping out a warp right in front of it, but it's literally like trying to find a needle in outer space. As for the seeds themselves, they are perfectly defenseless. They will do nothing to attack you. Can we actually just speed up and go around this thing so we can get a look at the front? Yeah. Yeah, there's not much to show. It is a very, very bright light. It's pretty easy to see in the darkness of space. Not so easy to see at warp speed. And can I just please run into it? Because it is a physical object. You can run into it. And can I please run into it? It's the quickest way to match speeds with it. And yeah, this is a level 1 seed, so it's not going to be too powerful. When it gets to the other end, it will... No, sorry, these are not physical. That's right. The hives are physical, but the seeds are not. So it means that I've got to slow down and try and match speed, which is, again, I really hope that with the future combat updates or any update in the future, we get a button to match speed and match orbit with other items just to make space combat so much easier. But yes, we can see it has a crap ton of hit points at, well, 37,000 for level 1, and has a crap ton of mana and a crap ton of energy before it even gets to its destination. When it gets there, it'll start making a brand new hive, a brand new hive core. Also have some brand new relays that's going to be sending off to planets to start getting more matter and more photon receivers to grab more power, and then start expanding from there. As for them, you can just enable any old weapon and shoot them out of the sky. Can I get a bit closer? A lot closer, because this weapon doesn't have a lot of range. Please. There we go. There we go. Yeah. In saying that, they do also heal fairly quickly. At 1204, that is the closest speed I've got so far. If I turn on normal copper rounds, yeah, we're not taking this out in a hurry. Not with stock rounds, not with low-level tech. Well, we're going to take that out, but it won't be quick. It definitely won't be quick. But yes, these are the seed. These are going to fly from system to system. Or if the devs have said there is no way to clear out the dark fog entirely in the current update. That is because, as far as I understand, as far as I've seen, they'll actually, if you clear out every single hive, every single relay, and every single seed, they'll actually come in from the edge of the map, and therefore spawn new hives. Well, new seeds will come in from the edge of the map and spawn new hives. At least that's as far as I've seen. Maybe that's subject to change. We did have a patch with loot drop changes, a few other things recently, so maybe that'll change in the future. But I can also say that it's going to take you an awful lot of effort to clear every single relay and every single hive from a 64 star cluster, and then make sure that once they're all clear, they're all definitely clear. There's no seeds halfway between any systems or anything like that. And then from there on, in theory, maybe you can have peace and quiet. That's maybe why the devs have said it's not possible to eradicate the dark fog for good, just because they didn't believe any players would do it. But then I've seen some of you players. I've seen some of the things that you guys do. Some of you have some serious time to invest in Dyson Sphere. Anyway, with all that said and done, that's where I'm going to be leaving this particular video, this particular, well, dark fog dossier. Tell me in the comment section below, do you want me to go further in depth into loot tables, also how to farm the dark fog? We can't farm the space units, but we can definitely farm the planetary units, and there's actually a couple of different ways to farm them. So would you like to see a video on that? Again, leave me a comment down in the comment section below. At the same time, as I mentioned before, I'd like to borrow that like. If I didn't get to borrow a like earlier, can I now have the like, and can I also keep it? And lastly, if you want to see more Dyson Sphere content, I will be starting up a Death World in the coming days, you know, to farm some dark fog loot. By all means, hit the subscribe button. But with all that said and done, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you in the very next video. Bye.